Hola, my hair is a little messy. I just got back from the gym, but you know, it is what it is. It's gonna have to do. And so yesterday I went and saw Nobody 2 with my dad. And I don't know if you've seen Nobody 1, because Nobody 1 I don't think was released in theaters. I think it was released on Netflix, or it was released on a streaming service. I don't know, but I did not go watch Nobody, the first one, in theaters. I saw it on like a streaming platform and watched it and loved it. If you're into action, thrill, suspense, gore, then you should go watch Nobody. Go watch Nobody 1 first, and then go watch Nobody 2. So, little backstory on how me and my dad did this like movie date together, because typically it's hard to get my parents out the house. They live a solidarity life and they do what they do. So I remember one day I came home from MMA and jiu-jitsu, and my dad was like, "Hey, have you seen Nobody?" I was like, "What you mean Nobody?" Because at that time it didn't register. He was talking about a movie. I was like, "What you mean Nobody? What you talking about?" He was like, "The movie." I was like, "Oh, yeah. I've seen Nobody." And I was like, "It's a really good movie. I really like it." And he was like, "Yeah, did you know Nobody 2 is coming out?" He said this is probably like mid-July, maybe in June, going into July. I don't know. I don't remember the actual timestamp of this conversation. But we had this conversation, and it was like, bet. So when Nobody 2 comes out, we're going to go watch it together. I said, "I don't give a fuck. You're getting out the fucking house." He's like, okay. So yesterday, we went and watched Nobody 2. Usually when me and my dad are alone together in the car, usually my dad talks my head off. My dad did not talk my head off until after the movie. So, like, on the way to the movies, like, I'm telling him about things going on in my life, things I'm trying to do, upcoming things that are going to happen. Because I'm moving next weekend. I'm moving to my own place so I can do more content, more OnlyFans content, more live talk videos, all that stuff, and like my own abode, and not have to worry about outside distractions or interruptions into the videos. So with that being said, back to the story, because that was a side point. You're gonna have to get used to it. I have ADHD. One thought leads to another thought, and we get right back to the original thought. So I was talking on the way to the movie, and I was like, "Are you okay? You're not really talking too much." And he was like, "No, I'm just vibing." Because you put Leonard Skinner on, so he's just vibing. And I was like, "All right, Dad, cool." So we go to the movies. So my dad is not the best with technology at all. He doesn't really know how to use the debit card. He has a debit card, but he doesn't know how to use it. So, like, people have to help him use the debit card because he doesn't know how to use the debit card. I think there's a term called for that, technological lagger. I thought I was one, but no, I'm not that bad. So my dad, we're going to go see this movie. I order the tickets online. Cool. We get in line for popcorn and drinks. I get the popcorn, and I hand him his drink. He goes over to the soda machine, and it's like the new soda machines, like the Coke Freestyle machines, like not the old, like you just put the Coke in and that's it. And he's looking at the machine. He's like, he's watching me use it, trying to figure out how to use the machine. And I'm like, "Okay, Dad, so if you want the ice, you just put the thing like the old ones, and these are your options on the screen. Now you have a lot of options, and whatever option you pick, you're going to pick that option is going to come up, and then you have several different flavors with that option." He was like, "Well, I want Pepsi." I was like, "Pepsi's not up there. It's a Coke Freestyle machine, Dad." And then he's like, "Okay." He picked the high C one. I was like, "Okay, so you picked high C, so these are all the flavors of high C that you can have." He's like, "Oh." I was like, "Yep." He went with high C orange. Typical. He loves orange soda. And I always went with my typical, a good old Coke. And we shared a large popcorn, so we're in the movies, we're watching the movie, and like he's enjoying himself while watching the movie. He's laughing, he's having a good time. So we're watching Nobody 2. And after the movies, I was like, "What would you rate the movie, Dad?" He was like, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. I was like, that's a good rating. That was what I was going to give it to, an 8 out of 10. So Nobody 2 is a solid 8 out of 10 for me. I feel like the storyline is really, really good. We both didn't expect the movie to be as good as the first one, because usually the second one's not as good as the first one. But the second one, I felt like it was just as good as the first one. I wouldn't say it was better, but it was just as good as the first movie, Nobody. So with Nobody 2, the plot that they did not go, I'm sorry, little burp. They did not go with the typical cliches that you normally see between the husband and wife combo when the wife feels like she's being neglected, because usually the typical cliche is the wife feels neglected, the wife hits him with the, oh, we need to talk. She almost did, but she didn't. She was just kind of like, I have to like just get used to the fact that he's back working and doing what he was before he met me, type shit. And further in the movie, they like it's written as you think that she's gonna still do the we need to talk and like leave him, but it doesn't go that way. They made the wife this strong character, and I really, 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 really enjoyed that, because I hate cliche women. I think that's one of the knocks that I will give it, is the villain. So the villain is female, but I feel like how the words that they wrote for the female villain was so cliche. The actress did a great job, but the words that they wrote for her was very cliche, and I did not like that. I was like there's one scene, the line is, let's hit these motherfuckers. She says it. She portrays her character very well. However, it's the line for me. Let's hit these motherfuckers. It sounds very forced in the plot. Because, like, before then you get, like, this backstory of how much of a psycho she is. And she's, like, dancing. But that particular line threw me off. I was like, that was the best line you could put right there. Let's hit these motherfuckers. You couldn't put something more, like, gruesome-y. Like, I just felt like it was a very cliche line in the movie, and I was just like, not sold on that one. But the kill scenes, oh my god, the kill scenes are great. Absolutely. And this review is probably going to be a little bit longer because you have my dad's story tied into it, plus the review. But get over it. So the kill scenes were really good, and I thought they were very creative and very thought out. My favorite kill scene was the water slide. It was the water slide. I'm not going to tell you what happened. I'm just going to say the water slide was my favorite one. My dad said the explosion was his favorite one. And I was just like, yeah, I could see that. But definitely, and there's like, it's more gory than the first one. The first one, it's a bunch of killing, stereotypical killing, guns, fist fighting, getting knocked out in the face. But this one is like very creative in the kills. Like, I don't want to give away too much, but you can tell that it has a little John Wick style to it. I think one of the dudes who did work on John Wick is also working on this also worked on Nobody 2 as well, because like have you ever seen, I think it's John Wick 3, where like him and the Asian guy fight like with the mirrors? There's something similar to that in this movie as well. So I think one of the people who worked on John Wick worked on Nobody 2 as well, because there's something similar like that. But, and I do appreciate like the final battle is at night, because it made the whole like setting and scenario perfect. So if you like action, gore, thriller, suspense movie, go watch Nobody 1 first. You gotta watch 1 first, then go watch Nobody 2. You can't just jump into Nobody 2. Who does that? Psychos. But Nobody 2 is a really good movie as well. 8 out of 10. If you're into that genre, go watch it. Other than that, I am going to get back on the mental health topics. I'm just waiting to move so I can say everything I want to say. That'll be coming up soon. I'm going to do more content soon. But go watch Nobody 2. 8 out of 10. 100%. If you're into action, thriller, or suspense with some gore. Yep. That's it. 10-minute video on Nobody 2 because it has my own little home slice story. But love, peace, and chicken grease. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. If you don't, fuck it. I just be doing these videos because why not? Everybody else got a video. Shit. Bye.